Hello, Namaskar viewers. This is Dr. Hiremat. Once again, welcome to my astrological channel, Vrishaba Astrology. I would like to thank all of you for viewing my earlier video in large numbers, and you have landed up in encouraging me to do another video. Friends, the need of the hour is to change. There is no progress without change. And that mind which refuses to change will never progress or will never achieve anything. So with these basic thoughts, I would let you know the objectives of my today's video. In today's video, I'm going to speak on the planets and relationship with the COVID disease. Which is the planet causing COVID? And where to look for the remedies. Is there any remedy? I'm also going to, as a doctor, I'm also going to talk about the vaccines, the possibility of vaccines to treat this disease. Friends, as you know, the most of the astrological also are in the opinion that this particular disease is because of the Rahu Graha in Mithuna Rashi, that is in Gemini. The third house in the Kala Purusha Kundali, and the third house denotes, as many of them feel, that denote the chest and the shoulders. So there is a problem here in that area. So Rahu Graha is causing this problem. So where to look for the solution? So many Lal Kitab books suggest as a particular solution. When there is inflection in Rahu, look for a solution in the Ketu. Where is the Ketu Graha? The Ketu Graha is in Dhanu Rashi in Sagittarius, that's the 7th house from the Mithuna Rashi. So opposite house. Friends, I'm not worried whether you are having an idea about astrology or not, but I want to make this video as simple as possible. When you sit for a discussion, you're sitting in front of a person and trying to find a solution. So exactly in astrology, the first house looks for the solution in the opposite house. And Rahu, you can have a solution in the Ketu. The Ketu is giving a dictation for us now. What does the Ketu planet signify? The planet Ketu signifies isolation. It signifies spirituality. It also signifies the realization. So those people who are inclined towards spirituality, who are inclined towards realization, who don't mind getting quarantined, they are comfortable. You can observe that. It's my observation, and the knowledge of astrology matches very much with the observation what I have made. For a brief recollection, as I was mentioning in the last video, the Mars as well as Jupiter were with Ketu earlier. And Mars planet indicates ear, nose and throat. So it got inflicted there by Ketu and it entered into Makar Rashi where the Saturn is already there. So I don't want to give too much details about astrology because I want this video to be understood by each and everyone, whether you're an astrological student or not. So the Mars got infected there and it has come to this side and joined the Saturn. Saturn represents Mars. So the infection has spread to the Mars. Though I told you in the earlier video that the Saturn and Mars combination is not a totally unfavorable one. Because Mars is treated well there in the Makar Rashi. But there was sudden disturbance after 22nd of March that the police and the other people started, doing some lathi charges and asking people, even after request, they were not going back to their houses. So they were forced to go. So use of power, use of force was indicated when Mars entered the Makar Rashi. And I also told you that Jupiter on 30th or 31st of March entered the Makar Rashi. And many people are feeling that they are under impression that Jupiter is Nicha in, or he gives a negative result when he is in Makar Rashi. Not this time. If Jupiter is alone in Makar Rashi, it has a power of Nichatva. But as already the Saturn, which is the owner of the house, is there, the Nicha Bhanga Yoga is there here. So one has to understand that. The Nicha Bhanga Yoga gives a Nichatva or gives a negative result initially, and later on it starts giving the positive result. Jupiter, no doubt, is a planet of knowledge and he is a protector. He gives the solution for this problem. There is Nicha Bhanga Yoga. Initially, the Jupiter's troubles, you can find that in what is happening now. The COVID cases will increase initially. Later on, it is going to down. It is going to decrease. Because there is Nicha Bhanga Yoga going to happen now. Many people are scaring the public, telling that, oh, this goes out of proportion and things will be out of our control and that will happen, this will happen. I don't think so. The only thing that can happen is that we can head towards the improvement. There's no negative, no looking back. A perfect decision has been taken by the Prime Minister of our country. With due respects to all the politicians, a best decision, especially in Karnataka. Our Chief Minister was the first person to give an order for quarantine. The first prevention has already happened. So now when we look into the solution, I told you, when the Rahu is inflected, look for the solution in Ketu. What is Ketu telling? Quarantine yourself. Go towards spirituality. Get enlightened. People who are doing that, they are comfortable. Second, what is the three planets? Mars, Saturn and Jupiter. They are in the 8th house from Mithuna Rashi. For Mithuna Rashi, 8th house is the house of longevity or the house of death. So there are three planets there. So these three planets are inflicted or they are not, they are troubling us. So how to pacify them? We just have to listen to what they are telling. What does Saturn tell? Use your wisdom. What does Jupiter tell? Have a knowledge about disease, how the disease is spreading. Please learn about that. The knowledge is given by the Jupiter. You have to understand that. And what does Mars tell? Please follow the law and order, or else you will be punished. So people who are blindly following all these things, who are quarantined, who are following the law and order, who are respecting the knowledge about the disease, who are listening to the elders, like Jupiter is also denotes the elders, and getting quarantined and behaving themselves, washing their hands properly, they are safe. There's no doubt about it. One has to follow the law and order. Now we are forced to follow it by the Mars. So until Mars enters the Kumba Rashi, this law and order will be very, very strong. 5th May, we can expect that when the Mars goes to the Kumba Rashi, the lockdown may ease down. It will get eased down. Suddenly you can't expect a lockdown totally being removed. It happens in phases. Where there are hotspots, the lockdown may continue. In the states where new cases are not popping up, the states may open up. So the lockdown is not going to happen all of a sudden. But there will be no force. When Mars goes to Kumbha Rashi, the 5th May, the force, pressure will be less on the people. As I already mentioned in my earlier video, the Sun entering the Mesha Rashi on 14th, the Uchasthana for Sun, the overall health of the whole universe, people will start improving after 14th April. The number of cases in the foreign country also start going down. Do we have a solution in form of a vaccine? I'll be answering this also in the end of this video. But what could the government do? The Sun is represented by the government. The government has to encourage the vaccines and the studies. The government, if you see the Graha Ketu, the government should encourage quarantine. It's doing. The government has to encourage or sometimes by force ask the people to get inside their home. They are following the Mars. And the government is trying to collect as much as possible the knowledge about how the disease process is there and how a vaccine can be done and all that. They are respecting the Jupiter. Most importantly, the government head, our beloved Prime Minister, is respecting the Saturn. He is using his wisdom. Saturn denotes wisdom. So he was the first person in the whole world to act very fast on locking down the whole country. It is his wisdom which is saving us. With due respect to all the politicians in the country, we are not having any bias. Let them be of any party. A good decision by someone has to be appreciated. So the government actions and the connection with the planets I have explained you, and the individuals' actions which have to be done connected to the individual planets I have explained. So that's how we can tackle this COVID now. Quarantine and follow the law and order, use your wisdom, respect the elders, stay indoor. Now friends, the last and very important thing is, can there be an invention of vaccine? Before that, which are the milestones where the planets change? Until the planets change their position, there will be no improvement, there will be no change in the situation. I told you, April 14th, the sun will come to Mesha, some improvement in the health. 5th May, the Mars goes into Kumba rashi, little bit eased down in law and order. And there is a change of Rahu to Mrigashira Nakshatra somewhere in May. Things may improve, they may get better. So series of slow changes will be there. Most importantly, what is that one thing which will encourage us and which gives us an hope that there will be a vaccine invention? When we have to see a cure with the help of a medicine, we have to look for two things. One, Vrishaba rashi, and the next one is the planet Sun. The time when the Sun enters the Vrishaba rashi, because Vrishaba rashi is the rashi of medicines, and Sun is a universal protector of the health of the whole world. When the Sun enters the Vrishaba rashi, one can expect the inventions of a vaccine. It can happen around, I think the Sun goes into the Vrishaba rashi maybe in May 15th to June 15th. So that particular time, there is going to be an announcement on the invention of a vaccine or the good results of the vaccines on this COVID-19. It may not come into market so early. It may come into market in end of June or till August. It may be implemented in August. But there will be surely an invention when Sun is in Vrishaba rashi. Friends, just one thought that when Sun comes to Vrishaba rashi and we have to have an invention of vaccine has not just come to my mind like that. I've done some research on this. Some of my books tell that the Vrishaba rashi is the house of medicine and the Sun is that point I have already mentioned to you. More than that, I just looked into a textbook which is written by Chandrakant Laharia, History of Vaccines of India, in Indian Journal of Medical Research, 139 April 2014. This article has come. This goes on telling about the vaccines and when the vaccines were invented in India, and when the vaccines were put into practice. If you look back in history, the smallpox vaccine was brought to India on June 14th, 1802. First person to be vaccinated was Anna Justel, 3-year-old boy in Mumbai. Secondly, BCG against TB vaccine 1948 May, August 1948. In May it was brought, 15th May in Nantra. So after 15th May and before June 15th, there is some clue about the vaccination even in the past, in the history. If you want me to give a latest quote, the vaccine for swine flu was announced in somewhere in 2000. My record will tell that it was, the name of the vaccine was Vaxiflu, yes. And it was announced on June 4th, 2010. On June 4th. And I put the kundli there. Again the sun is in Vrishaba rashi. So when the sun comes to the Vrishaba rashi, there are chances that there is some announcement about the vaccine. Most of the times they are put into practice in August. Maybe till end of the year we may get the real vaccine in our hand. But there will be some real discovery in this particular time. So this is my prediction. So friends, we need not be very much worried about this situation, right? Because we are going in the right direction. The government is in the right direction. And there is a possibility of invention. Nothing is permanent, and the change is the only thing which is permanent. Change keeps changing, and the same situation doesn't exist for a long time. So if somebody may ask me, as I was just noted, are we fully protected when the vaccine is invented, and the same problem, what is the guarantee that the same type of problem may not pop in again? I would like to tell a few wise thoughts on this. Perfection seems to be nothing more than a complete adaptation to the environment. Perfection seems to be nothing but a complete adaptation to the environment. But environment is continuously changing. So perfection can never be more than a transition. I hope you are understanding. You cannot be perfect all the time. You can have perfection in a particular moment. Again the things will change. Again we have to understand why there is disturbance, and again we should find a solution for that, and this cycle keeps on going and going. So the perfection turns to be imperfect, and again we have to invent a solution for that, and again we have to become perfect. Dear friends, my intention of this video to me has fulfilled my wishes of conveying these hopes for the citizens and the viewers who are a little disturbed. And a lot of my friends have called me, my friends, my acquaintance, those who know that I have little knowledge about astrology. Sir, will this situation remain the same? When will it come down? What about our business and all that? So the business part and when it is going to improve, I'll talk about that in some other video. But today's video, I think I have covered all their questions. Friends, it's a great honor, and I'm blessed to express myself in front of you. And I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to do this video. As I told you, nothing is permanent. Everything is going to be changing as and when the time goes on. So don't be too worried about what is going to happen in the future. And even the things of this type, once again, come back. We should be ready to face them and successfully lead the life in a confidence. So I would like to end this video to wishing all of you have a safe stay and be courageous. The Mars planet asks you to be courageous. Please follow law and order. Please quarantine yourself. Wait for that day when the change happens. Nothing is permanent but the change. Just remember this and stay happy, keep smiling. Thank you so much. Namaste.